Welcome back
Welcome,
to week.
everybody.
Welcome back to week 10 of the fantasy football formula. You got me all rattled, I guess.
I'm for sure keeping that.
Nick, how about you host us here?
No thanks.
Okay.
I don't think I'd be very good at it.
All right. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to week 10 of the fantasy football formula. This is our DFS main slate DraftKings breakdown where you go position by position, giving you our, around 5 favorite plays at each position. And then we build a lineup at the end to hopefully one of these weeks take down the million. And today is
This
another
is the week,
redeposit
actually.
week. What?
This is the week.
This is the week.
This is
Just
the
to
week.
make it clear.
All wearing green here.
This week.
Yeah, feeling good. All right. We'll start out at the quarterback position. As always, we'll start out at the top of the price range with our favorites and move down towards the cheapies. So who wants to start us off here?
I'm gonna say something, and why is Tua still below 7K?
Agreed.
Well, he's gone against, not the greatest defenses of late, but like usually after like back-to-back good performances like that, you usually get a tick up into the price range. And you see Justin Fields was 5,900, he's now 6,500. So that
Which is
price
still
range,
too low.
yeah, with his rushing upside, but I don't think he's gonna rush for 183 yards again. But at the top range, I love Mahomes.
Yeah.
I absolutely love him.
Yes. Yeah. Agreed completely. I mean, it's crazy to think that they only put up 20 points in that game. He threw the ball almost 70 times, 68 attempts.
He threw for 450 yards against him.
Like it's insane that they only put up 20 points, but he still almost had 40 fantasy points.
Yeah,
and he was their leading rusher.
Yeah.
He just did it all
completely
himself.
agree. The 3 guys you called out, Corey, were my 3 at the top there. Fields and Tua rounding out those. The Lions play man coverage a ton. So I think Fields has another great rushing opportunity in front of him. And just the Lions defense in general. We talked about this on the Best Bets show, but they're atrocious. Probably statistically the worst in like 50 years or something like that. So those are my 3 at the top.
Yeah, Mahomes is my favorite expensive quarterback. Of Mahomes lineup stacked with probably 2 pass catchers. I think Kelsey will be on every Mahomes team, and then just mix and match like these random receivers. Who knows if Tony's more involved? Like McCole Hardman just seems to I always seem to be on the wrong side of him, but we'll get that.
I don't think this is the week, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, that's in the receiver section. So yeah, this week I had like more quarterbacks. Like I even had Stafford this week, but now with that concussion thing, it looks like he might not play. My player pool might be only 3 quarterbacks, and it's Mahomes. I'm gonna be forced to play some Fields against Detroit.
Bend the knee.
I'm gonna regret that. I know it. I'm gonna regret it. But if he's gonna run the ball 15 times and they're all designed runs, like especially against Detroit, like this was like any other team, I would probably would have faded, but against Detroit, I'll probably have to play some. So those are at the high end.
Yeah.
Those are the higher end. Those are my 2 favorites.
Yeah. Nick, did you have anything there?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm playing 3 guys, Fields, Mahomes, and Tua. So you guys covered it. I mean, they speak for themselves at this point. So that's where I'm playing this week. A little expensive on the QB front.
What does anyone have a cheap guy?
Yeah. Go ahead, Corey.
Well, I think they're right next to each other. Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. I like Aaron Rodgers for the fact that I think the game's gonna be a shootout. And he's gonna be definitely really low owned, especially with Dubes out. But Russell Wilson against Tennessee's defense, their secondary is really bad. He might be kind of popular for his price tag.
Russ won't be popular at all.
You don't think so?
No.
Oh, okay. I mean, they have.
like under 5% owned.
Well, then I like it.
That little.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What about you, Alex?
Yeah, I don't love Rodgers this week. I said it yesterday, but the D line to O line discrepancy between the Cowboys D line and the Packers O line scares me playing any sort of Packers. And then you factor that in with Dubes being hurt and Aaron Jones nursing that ankle. I think he probably still plays, but is not 100%. So I'm staying away from Rodgers. But like kind of the mid-tier guys, Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones, going up against Houston with his rushing upside, 5,700 price range, coming off a bye, like him there. And then a guy I thought I'd never say that I'd be looking at in DFS, Nicholas
Brisket.
Brisket,
Yeah,
Jacoby Brisket. Miami's let up the most fantasy points to QBs in the entire league this season. Yeah, I think Brisket's in a good spot. Like he looked really good against the Bengals. Put up 30 points on them. A little bit of rushing in there, not his forte for sure, but like on those third and shorts, and maybe he gets one on the goal line. Yeah. So on the lower end, do like Brisket.
For me, so like Mahomes and Fields, definitely gonna play them in tournaments. And they're probably more so the cash game. You're probably gonna play one of Fields or Mahomes in cash games. My favorite tournament quarterback, like just relative to ownership and his price and how the pace of that game, how I think it's gonna play out. Trevor Lawrence is probably my favorite quarterback play of the week. He runs the ball way more than people think. Like he was scoring some rushing touchdowns earlier in the year, but recently he's just hasn't, scored off his attempts, but 53 yards rushing last game. And this should be a game where he's forced to pass the ball a ton against the Chiefs. And, so I think this game could be the shootout of the week. So I'm going to be playing both sides. Like that's my game of the week right there, is that Kansas City Jacksonville game.
Highest total on the board, right? 50.5.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be up there. I mean, I could see maybe another one getting close to it, but the Jaguars, I think, like Lawrence broke a slate last year. I remember when I don't think he was that popular, and I do think he's going to win a slate this year, and I think this could be the spot. So, Lawrence, favorite tournament quarterback?
Can I? No, I'm not gonna do it. Let's move on.
You're about to say Ellinger, and I was about to have to, but we won't have to say that. Okay. Moving on to running back. Running back every week is like that position where there always seems to be, because of injuries and just the backups, they're lower priced, whatever it may be, just all the chalk seems to gravitate towards these running backs, like where you see Tony Pollard at like 50-60% owned in tournaments. Last week we saw, forget who it was, it was like a mix of like Ramondre Stevenson and Travis Etienne that were at like 40% ownership. There's always these guys that just stand out as really good plays. So with that being said, what are some guys in this higher price range you guys are like? I think there's one guy that universally at this high end everyone's gonna love.
Yeah.
Gotta smash Saquon.
Yeah.
Against
Against Houston.
Debatably best running back in the NFL against debatably the worst run defense in the NFL.
Worst. No, not debatably. They are the worst run defense.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that's the game he goes nuclear. He's been sitting at like a consistent 18 points all year. So I think this is the game he goes for 40.
Off a bye.
Yeah, he started out the season with a 40 bomb, and then he's been in that just 15 to 20 range all season.
Yeah.
This could be the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's expensive. He's not cheap, but
in tournaments, I mean, I don't think you can shy away from him, right? Like I
Oh
think that high
no, I think
price
you have.
tag is gonna lower his ownership.
I think he'll still be popular, but I
Yeah,
think the high price tag will keep him in check to where he's not going to be like
yeah,
to the level where Tony Pollard was a few weeks ago, like
right,
50% owned.
right.
But yeah, so Saquon, best high price running back play. What do you guys have beneath that?
I mean, the guy. Go ahead, Nick.
I think my second favorite play on the whole slate is Travis Etienne.
Yeah,
He's debatably a top 5 running back right now, sitting at 7K.
Yeah.
So I think with his pass volume against the Kansas City team that they're going to have to pass a lot against,
that's
they're
what
going to
I
have to
love
get
about it.
creative and use the weapons that they have accordingly. I think Doug Peterson's the kind of guy that will do that.
Absolutely.
So he's put up some stellar weeks. I think he continues the trend. I have no reason to bet against him. So he should be to me, DraftKings is still baiting people with Jonathan Taylor, and he's $500 more than Etienne, who's been outperforming him. Debated, I think, like every game this year.
Taylor
so
hasn't played a little.
He's been
bit.
hurt.
I know, but
Yeah.
Still, it's like this guy that's underproduced. He's just got the big name from last year. Like, to me, if you're looking to build a lineup, I know Jonathan Taylor sounds really nice in there, but
I don't think anyone's playing
ETN
Jonathan
is like
Taylor.
your smash play in the 7K range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree completely. The other thing too, obviously we touched on it, potentially being the highest scoring game on the slate. Kansas City's not great against the run.
Yep.
And I'm not even worried about game script affecting ETN's production. They were down 17 to the Raiders, and he still got 28 touches in that game. So, like you're saying, Nick, it seems like they're going to feed him the ball, regardless of where they're at. It's kind of like a Derrick Henry situation where it's just like, this guy is so much better than any player that we're playing against. Like, we have to get him the ball regardless.
Yeah. Especially for some of the guys in that range too, like Josh Jacobs going up against a good Colts run defense. You got Shaq Leonard back. I think that limits your upside significantly. Yeah. And then Kamara's playing against Pittsburgh, who's getting TJ Watt back. So
they are for sure getting him back.
Yeah, I saw something that he was going to play.
I'm pretty sure he's playing.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that he's going nuclear against.
I had ETN. I had ETN as my second favorite running back play. Again, I love the Jaguars Kansas City game. And I do think this is the game where ETN gets way more involved in the pass game as well and catches a touchdown from Lawrence. So I even like stacking Lawrence with ETN, like with not just ETN, like Lawrence, ETN, like Kirk or something. But I do like Kamara still. Like, he's one of my top 5 favorite running back plays. Just with, like, he just gets so many targets with how banged up they've been. He didn't get that many last game. I think the Ravens really made it a priority, but
do you think that he gets a knock if Jameis plays? Like, because
Dalton likes but I think it's Dalton again. Like, there's no signs
again.
Yeah, there's no signs that they're gonna go to Winston. So
that is wild, dude.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Wild. So I'm gonna stick with. I mean, I like ETN more, but I will play some Kamara. So yeah, I like a little more of, like, there's only one guy I like beneath 6K really. So my 3 favorites are in that 7K above range. Does anyone have like a mid range running back?
If DeAndre Swift is a full go, I'm playing him.
Yes.
Against Chicago. Chicago's run defense has been bad all year.
Very bad.
Yeah.
So, and we expect this to be kind of a high scoring affair.
Love Swift.
So yeah, if he's a full go, which again, if I don't know why they played him last week. I mean, he touched the ball like maybe 3 or 4 times. Like, don't even put him in that situation. Yeah.
You gotta keep
so I like
on
Swift.
that.
Yeah, Swift.
So just monitor that stuff. And I think Jamal, if like they say like, oh, we're shutting down Swift for another, then Jamal's a great play.
Yeah. Yeah, Bears run defense in general, but run defense in particular is bad.
Yeah, I mean, they have
Like
Jamal at 59.
you'll get sometimes with that Swift play, like you'll just be like kicking yourself when they get to the goal line and they go to Jamal. But like when Swift hits his ceiling from those long runs, like those explosive runs and those catches, that's what you're playing him for, is just that ceiling, not those Jamal vultures.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
Okay.
these mid-round guys, like it's really tough because you're either in like a committee backfield
Yeah.
or they got real tough matchups.
Pierce is going to be really popular, but
I was
I
going
don't
to
know.
say Damian Pierce, but like I kind of really like the Giants this year,
Same.
especially that run defense.
He's going to be popular too. He might be a
Their
good
D
fit.
line is solid.
Yeah,
He's going to be popular. He's going to be like a cash game staple, and that usually means he's going to be very popular in tournaments. I mean, if you guys agree, like, do you think Pierce is like the chalky running back to fade this week?
Yeah,
yeah,
easily.
Yeah.
The Texans are bad, and you know what they're going to want to do is just feed him the ball.
The
But
Giants, they've had a
The
bye
Giants
week.
know that, and coming off
Daboll's a great coach. Like he'll shut that down.
Yeah,
I
I
have no
agree.
doubt.
Pierce is the chalk that you avoid. Like he might get 20 something rushes for like 90, 100 yards, but I don't think he's scoring really multiple times
Yeah.
here.
Like say you have to play someone under 5K. Is there? I only got
Singletary.
one guy cheap, Singletary. I was thinking Jerick McKinnon. He was playing 70% of the Chiefs snaps last week. I know they said Pacheco's a starter. You still
It's
got
too
Edwards
messy.
Hilaire. Like it's kind of a mess, but like to
He
me,
doesn't have a ceiling to win a tournament. Is the problem.
I know. Maybe I don't know. Like
Singletary
you like Singletary.
Yeah, just with Allen banged up, he's my like cheap running back play that I'll sprinkle in some lineups, just like where I think they might try to just establish
Get
the run, see
creative.
what they have in their run game a bit more this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, do you go as far as James Cook? Speaking
No,
of the Bills,
no, he is
You
not.
go Naheem over James Cook at this point.
Yeah, I agree. You'd go Naheem over Cook.
all right.
if you guys want to play, a bag of balls, if Jonathan Taylor and Deion Jackson out, Zach Moss against. I mean, I don't know. It's such a toss up. It's so random, like what the Colts could or could not do this
I think
week.
Taylor's going to play though.
I think he's going to play, and I'm going to play Taylor in some tournaments. Not Millie Maker, but I will play him in some tournaments because he will be very low owned, and just for the fact that the Raiders are such a bad defense. Like they're good at pass rushing, but their run defense is not good.
Or they just decide like Ellinger sucks. We're going to give Taylor 30 carries no matter what.
Yeah, I mean,
touches. We'll see what Jeff Saturday wants to do. He was clipped in that video with Peyton Manning saying, "Run the ball."
Yeah. All right, I think that's probably everyone in the.
I do one more. I want to shout out Jeff Wilson Jr. Obviously, he's split.
Huge Jeff Wilson guy.
The race car driver. He's obviously splitting carries with Mostert still, but in the last week, the week he got traded, short week of practice, he outran him.
Yep.
Excuse me. And I think they had the same amount of carries. Again, that Miami offense is high octane. So if I can get pieces of that into a lineup at a fairly reasonable price point, I'm going to try and do that.
Browns suck against the run too.
That too.
All righty. Well, that's running back. Now moving on to receiver. This is where the slates are won here. I always say that just because it's
true.
Ceilings of these guys, and then just the random guys that are low owned that you end up needing. Last week we found a low owned Devontae Adams go off. And we'll see who it is this week. Starting at the top, who do you guys like?
Right at the top there. Tyreek has just been unbelievable.
He has been, but that's so expensive.
It is. It's very
back-to-back.
It's going to be hard to fit in. It's going to be hard to fit into a lineup. But in terms of just calling out individual guys, I mean, he's on pace for 2,000 yards this season. It's just,
but okay, if he was like 15K, like I get it, he's like Tyreek Hill, but like you always have to, like he would need to hit, I think, to pay off a tournament 35 plus here.
I mean, look at his last couple of games, dude.
I don't think he's hit. Has he hit? How many times?
34.
Yeah, that he would need to, I think that wouldn't even do it. I don't think a score besides his Baltimore game, no score that he's put up would like win like a Millie Maker.
All right.
That's just
I'll take your word for it. You definitely you got more knowledge on this stuff than me, but
it's just a price thing. He's a great play, but just at raw points.
Yeah.
But just
I mean, if Josh Allen plays, Diggs is my favorite guy at 8,300. I mean, we've seen him pay off this price before, so against what could be a shootout game if he does play, I really like Stephon Diggs here. Vikings are not very good against
what about
wide receivers, though.
Well, I guess with Stafford out, I was going to say Kupp was my favorite if Stafford played.
But was it what? Who's that corner on the Cardinals?
Yeah, he shut Kupp
Murphy.
down last time, but
Murphy.
I just think second game they're going to scheme more to not let that happen. But to
Without
be honest,
Stafford.
yeah, and without South Stafford, I just will fade Kupp completely. But honestly, I don't really like I don't know, it's just me. I just like the more expensive running backs.
Yeah.
I like an expensive tight end that we'll get to. I don't really like, even though there's Hopkins, Tyreek, Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, Adams, Diggs. Like we have every elite receiver on this slate, like literally every single one, and I just don't like any of them.
There's some really good cheap receivers this week.
I do agree.
More than
I like
normal.
Injuries.
The expensive running backs a lot better
Like
than
the five-
expensive receivers this week.
The 5-6K range is just, to me, peppered with guys that
I
are
agree.
awesome, like Juju, Cortland Sutton.
Judy,
You could,
Wandale.
you think Mooney's going to go off? Like,
against Detroit,
he's
even
pretty cheap.
Yeah, I
Kinda
love
like
this
Claypool
mid-range.
even better than that.
Yeah, he's only $4,800.
Yeah.
Olave 6'8".
Yeah.
Like instead of Tyree, you play Waddle at 7'6". Amon Ross 6'9". Like
I
don't
do
know.
really like Olave this week. We saw what
I
AJ
have
Brown.
Olave, yeah.
We saw what AJ Brown did on deep balls and deep targets against the Steelers secondary, and that's Olave's bread and butter.
Yeah.
Obviously, would like to see Jameis throwing him those deep shots, but still like the play.
Yeah, Olave was on my list. The most expensive guy I had on here was Amon-Ra. Because if I'm playing Fields, like Amon-Ra or Swift is probably on every Fields team.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked Olave and Amon-Ra and Olave in that upper mid range kind of.
Amari Cooper, 6,500. Again, with the Miami secondary, it's been giving up a lot of points, quarterbacks, and it looks like Brisket only looks Cooper's way. He targets him at least 8 times a game. I like Amari Cooper. Then like you guys said, like under that, I mean, there's so many good plays below. You can turn off the lights and throw the dart and try to hit the bullseye with one of these Chiefs receivers. I mean, especially if you're stacked.
Juju's the go-to though.
Juju is the go-to, but like, I mean, I could see them getting
such a
I don't.
show.
I know
it's just like, yeah, you're right. It's a crapshoot. I mean, they're throwing a dart, and then we also don't have any game on Tony. Like,
yeah, he might be
could,
someone you could sprinkle in with the Mahomes teams.
Yeah. We just have like no idea of how they're going to use him, how much they're going to use him.
Yeah,
like, he could throw up a 0. He could throw up a 20. Like,
yeah. He's someone I think like he won't be projected to score like much of anything, which will keep his ownership low. But I think if you're playing a bunch of Mahomes, you should make one like Mahomes, Tony, Kelsey lineup and run it back with like ETN or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I like Juju was like my favorite like 6K guy. Like you guys said, the Russ, like
dude,
Sutton and Judy, one of them is in the winner.
This could be another week where you double up on the receivers like for a team. Like you mean
like Russ, Sutton, Judy? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Like what Tua has done like 2 times this year with Tyreek and Waddle. I know they're not
Tua's,
this.
that team's crazy where the offense is so concentrated with those two guys that like just the Tua double stacks have crushed all year.
Yeah. And then you literally have from like 5.5 to 5.2, like questionable, IR out, questionable out. Like there is a lot of options below that 5K range. But I think you're right. I think you spend up on running backs this week because there are a lot of good options, and then you just live your life in the the 5K to 6-9K in the receiver pool.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm going to treat this slate.
Is there anyone below like
5?
No, like even below that, like 4 or 5 that you
Van,
look.
nope, not anymore. I keep forgetting. Van was in there, Van Jefferson, but not with Stafford out.
Dude, Van Jefferson has been on the field like 2 games now, and I don't think he's received a target.
Nope.
Maybe one.
What about like
He got 5
Christian
targets
Watson?
last game, but he caught 0 balls.
Okay, well,
What about like a
Yeah.
Christian Watson? Like you got Dubes out. Lazard's
Possibly.
probably gonna get Diggs.
I would say if you're playing Watson, though, I think it would be fit better in like a Rodgers like double stack than just like a one-off.
Yeah, he's gonna have to throw to someone.
My favorite one-offs are more of like taking the expensive quarterbacks. Like, for example, if you were to play Tyreek, he's a good one-off because like if Tyreek goes nuclear, that doesn't always mean Tua is going to be in the winner, or someone like who's another like Allen. So if you play Diggs, so much of the offense is concentrated through Diggs. If Diggs has a ceiling game, that doesn't always mean Allen does. But if like Christian Watson went crazy, Rodgers is probably having a pretty good game, like where he is paying off that price in a big way. That's how I like to treat like playing one-offs rather than in a stack. But yeah, I like Marvin Jones is like my favorite like 4K receiver.
yeah, just because we think that game's
get some exposure to that game.
Yeah, and again, it's Marvin or Zay Jones, but I think I prefer Marvin a little bit more.
I would agree.
Kirk's like the number one there though. Like I think he's the only guy that has that like 30-point upside.
Yeah, but you don't need 30 from Marvin. You could get in like if you got like 24 or 25, that could win you a tournament. You're looking for like tournament, you want like 5, you're looking for 5 to like 6x their price. So if you got like 21 to up, that's good for Marvin.
Yep.
All right. So anyway, that's it for receiver.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right, tight end. It's kind of interesting. You got one stud and then kind of just whatever's left over here at the rest.
I feel like you see this every year. Like late in the season, I guess Mark Andrews has been up there and Kittle, but like it feels like the later we get into the season every year, it's just like Kelsey and the rest of
tier
the
gap. And then, yeah.
Hebe, what are you going to do? You can't play Pitts this week.
I know. So now I get to just spread my exposure to, well, put it more to Kelsey. I have like
there's right a lot of good cheap tight ends. I think this week
it's this 3K range that has the guys that I like now. Yeah, I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 8 tight ends in my pool this week. Favorites Kelsey, obviously.
Yep.
What's your
Hawkinson?
I don't have him in my targets. Pool.
Because I think he played like 90% of the game.
Yeah, Buffalo's solid.
They're very good, no doubt.
That's the only reason I would shy away from him, because you're right. He did. I think he played like 95% of the snaps on like 3 or 4 days of practice.
Yeah.
So they're
he's clearly centerpiece number 2.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah, insane, right?
Like literally trying to learn a different language in 3 days for a final.
Yeah, and he's catching, he's blocking. Like obviously you throw like a Chase Claypool in for 3 days of practice, and it's like, all right, do a couple of go routes, like slant and go, fade route, whatever.
Right.
You know what you're gonna do. It's like your 4 routes, your 5. Whereas Hawkinson, he's blocking for runs, he's blocking for passes, he's catching. Crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess the next. Yeah, I mean, I would like Njoku if he's playing. I just don't know
I like
with
him if he's playing too,
Yeah,
but
I don't
I
think
don't think he's going to play.
I don't know.
They
I
said
think
that he was going to be ready to go, and then he hasn't shown up at practice. So
He hasn't practiced.
all right.
Yeah,
Well, then
I'm
my favorite tight end play is Dulich.
Yeah.
dude, I
30
love
Yes.
him this week.
Yeah. Yes.
3,500.
Yeah.
He's going to be the
3,400.
highest owned tight end, though, which I hate doing. I hate playing the highest owned tight end, but
Yeah.
I absolutely like this. Might be. I hate going against my like rules that I set for myself, but I might have to at least match the field on his ownership. I just played 20%, and if he fails, he fails. But I just love him so much.
If Higbee's playing, or if Stafford's playing,
Higbee.
then
Yeah, I like Higbee a lot.
Cardinals are the worst team in the league against
Yeah.
tight ends.
Love Higbee if
I-
Stafford's
yeah.
playing.
I actually don't even dislike him that much if he's not playing. Obviously less, but like you look at was it Wolford or something? Whoever. Backup quarterback, though, a lot of times is looking at these check downs, short routes over the middle. So like I definitely like him less, Higbee less if Stafford's not playing, but I don't know that you completely fade him if Stafford isn't playing just because Cardinals are that bad against tight ends.
What about some Evan Ingram?
Is
if
he
he plays,
Is he? Yeah, I thought he hasn't been practicing.
I don't see him.
He's limited to
Yeah, he was
limited.
limited today. I think he'll be a go, but Kansas City
Yeah,
isn't they're bottom like 8 or so against tight ends, and of course Lawrence being my favorite tournament quarterback, like naturally I like Ingram to some extent, but really those are like I'll have a few other tight ends like sprinkling Komet and like maybe a few Darren Waller lineups if he plays. But other than that, I feel like Kelsey and Dolchich are definitely my two favorite. Like I love those two.
Yeah.
I don't hate Cole Kmet either, but coming off of a 2-touchdown week, he's very
that's why I'm nervous.
and I think a lot of people will be on him after
Detroit is so bad against tight ends.
So bad, but yeah.
And Fields might be like, wow, I targeted this guy, scored twice, and they might throw it his way more. Like I'll play him on a few of the Fields teams, but
at that price tag, I think it's worth sprinkling if you're going to play Fields for sure.
Right. But yeah, Dolchich, man.
Yeah,
he's so good.
All right.
All right, time to build a lineup here.
To it.
All right. What quarterback? Obviously, what were my three? Mahomes.
Said Mahomes, Tua.
I'm not playing Tua this week.
Okay, so Mahomes, Fields, and
Fields, and Lawrence, but you guys don't like Lawrence, so like Mahomes,
not as much as the other two.
Yeah,
could we do Justin Fields?
Are we gonna go with like the guy to break the slate back-to-back weeks, or are we gonna just pay for Mahomes and just?
I mean, debatably, the past 3 weeks he's put up 25 plus points.
Well, I guess the last two slates he's put up tournament winning upside. The last 2 weeks.
Well,
I do think a lot of people are going to be on him this week.
There's gonna be so many people on him.
Yeah, I feel like Mahomes could be the better.
Yeah, nothing against Justin Fields.
I just safe play. I like it.
Mahomes.
Yeah,
I think I would agree. As a huge Bears fan, Justin Fields fan, I do tend to think he's going to be super high owned.
Yeah,
and they could get there with like David Montgomery.
Correct.
Yeah,
like that's the other thing.
And Herbert, Khalil Herbert. They guys have a running it like where they all spread it around. Well, so are we getting Kelsey in here then?
Got to.
Yeah.
That's and then
receiver one.
Yeah, and then in this one,
I don't want.
I don't think we go Hardman, and I don't think we go him.
No, I don't either. And the fact that he's cheaper than Tony is absolutely ridiculous.
MVS got one target last week. It was embarrassing.
They paid him so much money.
He was facing who was it? Tennessee has
Farley.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He's got the guy on the outside, which is kind of like shying me away from Sutton and like leaning more towards Judy in that game. But anyways.
Well, we could risk it with Tony, or we could play MBS to finally hit that home run ball. Because he hasn't scored this year. He's their highest paid receiver.
That is crazy to think about.
Yeah, I don't like MVS at all, to be
So
honest.
are we gonna risk it with Tony? Who's
Yeah, I
1,000
kind of like
more
it.
and could play.
They might try and get the new guy some touches.
How many targets did he get? 2?
Yeah, we got yeah. So
9
You guys,
snaps.
I mean, he's gonna be super low owned.
it's so risky
It is
because
risky.
McCole Hardman's come on. Like
I mean, can we just do Juju? Like
We
if Mahomes is
could,
going to hit his
but-
ceiling, Kelsey and Juju are both going for 20 plus.
What if we
You can't just get 20 plus from Juju. You need 30 plus from Juju.
what if
And
we
you
just
need, and
didn't-
you need 30 plus from Kelsey.
what if we just single stack this?
I don't like it with Mahomes.
Really?
No. I think if Mahomes goes crazy against Jacksonville, 2 guys are coming with
What
him.
if Kelsey caught like 3 of them though? 3 touchdowns.
Then
Yeah.
Which has
Which has happened.
it's happened, but
Definitely
you're banking. You're like, what's the
Look at
odds of a 3
17
touchdown game
targets.
low?
What
I say MVS, and I'm going to stick with it because MVS is so cheap. 1 home run ball, his price tag's paid off, and then you just have to worry about Kelsey hitting his ceiling.
I mean,
Alright, fine,
price
throw
wise,
him
it
in.
looks good, but the likelihood of that happening's
All right, let's do it for now, and then we got the rest of the week to
and it's salary
figure it out.
to fight about it.
Yeah.
Run
Hardman's
it back with
questionable.
ETN.
ETN or one of those
Or
other
Kirk.
cheap. Yeah, Kirk, Marvin Jones, A. Jones. But yeah, ETN's obviously a smash play.
Yeah.
Man, we're gonna have to get a cheapie.
Cheap running back. Should we throw Kirk in there?
Double run back.
If we thought this game goes crazy, you could do like an ETN, Marvin Jones. Like if we really thought this game just went above and beyond every game, like that one slate, I forget. Someone won the million where it was they stacked
Lions. It was the
it was
Lions.
three.
And the
It was
Seahawks.
3 Seahawks and then 2 or 3.
Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the only game that went over like 50
Right.
points or something.
I I'd rather probably play a receiving option and pay for another high running back in Jacksonville for Sunday. That's just I'd rather pay down at a Jacksonville receiver and just because
ETN.
I just think that I don't know.
You don't want to do both?
I honestly don't think this game will be a huge shootout.
Although if you did both, maybe then Lawrence is a better play because then like if ETN and Marvin are going off, then you can just play Lawrence and save like 2,500.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe that works better with the Lawrence lineup.
And then run it back with Kelsey. Yeah.
You could, yeah, exactly. You just switch it, but yeah, I guess we could. I mean, what do you guys think? I think ETN is a phenomenal play.
All right, then we'll keep him.
I like that.
That was just throwing my 2 cents in. We can keep him. That's totally fine. But
let's see what we can build with ETN, and then
Okay.
we'll switch.
The
All
more
right, let's see where like a good defense could be.
Colts. They're like one of the cheapest.
Corey.
I was gonna say if
I don't hate it.
if Josh
Thanks.
Allen doesn't,
I think
play,
the Raiders
Vikings-
absolutely smoked the Colts, but that's just me.
I think
Let's just go through. Okay, Jaguars, no.
Vikings.
Minnesota, maybe if Case Keenum's in, but they'll be popular. So then again, I don't like it. Cleveland, Green Bay, Indy, Houston.
I was gonna say the Giants, but the Giants
Arizona
are 30.
will also be popular if Wolford's there.
Cardinals.
Dude, the Raiders are like the 3rd highest. I mean, which they kind of should be, but
Yeah, I'm playing a lot of Raiders defense this week.
God, I can't wait for you to fucking lose.
I like the Cardinals.
I don't. They've scored so many defensive touchdowns to bank on another one.
But
But
they're
if they get no
playing
Stafford-
they're playing a backup Rams run like quarterback.
And Wolford, I remember one game he like crushed. He came in and like dominated.
He's very familiar with
Confident
that.
that you're gonna fade a defense because of one backup.
Well, that and they will also be high owned because of it. So it's mainly because of that. But
Wow,
I don't know. I like Denver.
I don't think they're that good. I think
But if Malik Willis is
Traylon Burks could be back this week, so
It doesn't really matter if Malik Willis is playing quarterback.
Yeah.
you never know. The rookie connection.
No,
Denver
Malik Willis
or
sucks.
go keep scrolling up. I want to see who's like up there.
As a top.
I'm gonna be playing a lot of Saints this week. I think
I was gonna say I don't hate the Saints, but 3,500 is a lot for defense.
yeah, they Saints possibly are my favorite defense this week, but Las Vegas.
All right, we got picks.
Yeah,
on
pull
there.
the trigger.
What do you guys think? I don't know.
I
I
like
vote
the Broncos.
Cardinals.
No, I'll go Cardinals.
I'd rather do Colts and just save even more money.
It's $200.
Yeah, but I think the Cardinals are going to be, if Wolford's playing, like, especially when people see how many defensive touchdowns they've scored, they're going to be very popular.
All right.
So Colts.
Colts it is, baby.
With a new coach.
We have a great defense.
I know. I'd rather pay up a defense, but I don't think the Cardinals. Everyone's gonna be playing the Cardinals.
All right, so now we need like a cheap running back here, or no?
Mid range, like a 6K ish running back.
Do we go Montgomery?
No, not with Khalil Herbert. That's too. Khalil Herbert is sometimes playing more than Montgomery.
All right, let's just go Zeke then.
Stop. I think we
I
got
don't mind Singletary, I guess, but I'd rather do I guess Jeff Wilson.
I like Swift.
I like Swift too.
Yeah, me too.
Or we could try to fit Saquon.
I say we go Swift, and if he gets hurt, pivot off him.
Yeah, we can pivot. What's Jamal's price? Yeah,
we all like Swift.
Jamal at 59.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Probably, yeah. Now we need another cheap for something receiver. We could get Judy. Judy would probably fit in this, right?
Yeah, we do like.
Yeah, Judy. You could go like Judy and Claypool, maybe.
And that would give you a Detroit-Chicago stack as well.
Right. Which I think could be a big shootout too. I like the correlation.
Jesus.
Yeah.
No. Christian Watson.
When you pay Mahomes and Kelsey, things shrivel up quick.
We could do two tight. I was gonna say we do play two tight ends with.
I don't mind. Sometimes
Dulcich.
yeah, we could get Dulcich in here, but then we're playing two Denver guys, which Russ would probably be crushing.
The more we look at it, the more I do like Trevor Lawrence.
I know. I agree.
You get so many more
Are we
options.
gonna go with Lawrence? Let's
I
go.
didn't like it initially, but like when I'm building this, I kind of like those options better than like banking on MVS. Because you still would play Kelsey the run back.
Right.
MVS.
You would play like Lawrence Etienne and Kirk, or Lawrence Etienne Marvin.
Yeah, I think I'd rather do that.
I mean, it's 3-1. I don't like. I think the Jaguars absolutely get slaughtered. So,
they're gonna have to. They're gonna be forced to throw a ton.
I know. I mean, yeah.
It doesn't necessarily.
I know.
Things.
He's so cheap, though. He's so cheap.
Let's give it a shot. See what we can get in there, and then we'll lock in whatever we got, and then figure it out off air.
Oh, you restarted the whole thing?
We're going to probably end up building a lineup that I'm going to enter myself, because I'm going to have so many combinations of Lawrence.
T-Law, ETN, and Christian Kirk.
Yeah, that works for me.
And then put Saquon in there.
And then Kelsey.
Run it back with Kelsey.
Defense, same thing. You go back.
I feel like we have to play Chris Olave this week. I don't know, like my subconscious mind's calling out for Chris Olave.
Yeah, I like Olave, but let's see if we can fit him after we get Judy in here.
I don't know if we'll be able to fit him.
No, it's either Judy or Olave.
Yeah. Which Judy's makes more sense, but then we're really scraping the barrel here.
I feel like Saquon's probably too much.
Yeah, we can't play Saquon. We can't play Saquon in this.
So go down.
We almost can only play like one.
Go down to Jonathan Taylor.
No, Swift.
No, Swift. Yeah, Swift.
I mean, I'm playing Taylor, but
We could fit
try for you,
Olave
Corey.
in now, maybe
Claypool, maybe.
you can't fit Olave, PB.
Claypool. No,
That's
okay,
the bring back.
Claypool.
Yeah, Claypool with the bring back of Swift. 44. I don't know if there's anyone juicy down there, man.
Yeah, this is where you could.
What if we went Marvin Jones?
Yeah, I was gonna say I like Marvin. We could play Marvin and then get a much better last guy.
6K.
Marvin over Zay.
Yeah, I think so.
Why is
More
it
home
busy?
run upside. Juju.
No. Wow, that kind of sucks.
Don't
We
like
could go up
that.
at defense.
I mean, what if we did the Juju bring back instead of Kelsey?
I
No,
like
dude,
Kelsey
Kelsey's
so much.
Kelsey's just
put
the
options
alpha.
out.
This is,
right.
as you can see, just if you're, it's going to be tough to build lineups this week. Like we even paid down at quarterback and didn't even get Saquon in here, and it's still tough.
Yeah.
Oh, I like Cortland Sutton. Oh,
Oh,
we
yeah,
have Judy.
Judy.
Though.
Yeah,
Judy.
we have Judy.
Definitely not Najee Harris.
Keep going down here.
You get Mooney. Oh no, we have.
Oh, Darnell Mooney. Oh,
No, we have Claypool.
Keep going down farther. I want to see what's in the low 5K and then the upper 4s.
What if we went the two most
Oh,
expensive tight ends with Hawkinson?
Yeah, I don't hate that.
I hate Hawkinson. Buffalo's so good.
We gotta make a pick here too.
I know we're
Taking a
struggling
long
here.
time.
We are. Shoot. I mean, Singletary fits this.
What if you just threw in like
I mean, Singletary is like
Hawkins?
57.
I like Hawkinson.
It's so unique too.
Singletary is 56. And then
I
we
just
could-
Minnesota's just way too good on defense. I think.
I also don't hate Herbert. Well, those would be my two picks: Herbert or
I don't like these split backfields.
All right, put it down. Let's just put in.
Why don't we put in Juju and we completely and
All right,
okay,
Juju.
let me listen and I'll explain why this lineup could work. You're basically playing Mahomes in this lineup. If Mahomes hits his ceiling, you're gaining that as well because you're playing his two. Most Mahomes lineups won't even be able to play Juju and Kelsey, right? But if that game goes crazy, you're still getting the other side of that in Lawrence, Etienne, and Marvin. But like how many Mahomes lineups are going to have Juju and Kelsey? Very, very few because of how restrictive on pricing it is. So you're essentially playing Mahomes in this lineup.
All right, submit it.
I like it.
We're just banging our heads against the cement wall at this point in time.
I don't know. I like that. We're going heavy on Jacksonville, Kansas City, highest total of the week. If that game goes nuclear and other ones just kind of dud, like that lineup's easily cashing.
All right.
All right. I'll do it for this episode.
Like and subscribe.
Hopefully, as always, we win this million, but we won't. So.
Whoa!
How was
Sorry.
that attitude?
Jesus.
Yeah, you're right.
End the show. PB's just he's on lack of sleep.